Hey everybody, welcome back to another video and thanks for clicking in. I just wanted to take a second to ask that you guys like and subscribe the video, as right now only 4.4% of my viewers are actually subscribed, so it really means a lot if you and helps out the channel if you guys can just drop down below and hit the red button. I hope you all have a wonderful video and have a great day. Welcome back everybody, what is up? Today we are going over a Hydreigon EX deck that is primed and ready for rotation to hit. This deck I've had tons of fun building. I got to build it with my buddy. He was wondering what kind of a main deck he could kind of dink around with that's not super meta. He does frequently play Hydrapple, and I figured, you know what, let's go with another stage 2 Pokemon, and this one's going to be tons of fun for you. So we did go ahead and build this, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So let's just hop right into it. Hydreigon EX, our primary attacker of the deck, has 330 HP. It is a stage 2 Tera type Pokemon, and Crashing Headbutt deals 200 damage for 1 darkness and 1 colorless. But you also get to discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. So a little bit of disruption there, some mill going on. And then Obsidian, this attack is super powerful. For 1 Psychic, 1 Darkness, 1 Metal, and 1 Colorless, so it's pretty expensive. You deal 130 damage, but you also deal 130 to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So you get to spread tons of damage around, and I mean 2 of these onto some support Pokemon, and that you might have the game just like that. So a very powerful attack, but more times than not, we just go ahead and we Crashing Headbutt our way through things. We'll see if we can get some solid matches there for you. And then, so we do have a 3-1-3 line of that main attacker. As for other Pokemon, we do have 1 copy of Morpeko, which has a 70 HP Dark type Pokemon, that as long as it has no energy attached, it has free retreat cost. We have 2 copies of Munkidori in here for Adrenabrain, which when it has darkness energy on it, you can move up to 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to your opponent's Pokemon, which having our Hydreigon with 330 HP and having some poison shenanigans mixed in, we're going to be able to move some damage with our Munkidoris, and having 2 of them in there is not only going to be super powerful, but also allow us to combat other decks that are frequently going to be playing Munkidori, as it is a very powerful card. And then obviously we can use Mind Bend, which deals 60 damage and confuses the opponent's active for a Psychic and a Colorless. Then we got 1 copy of Fezandipiti. We got a 2-1-2 line of Pidgeot EX in there for Quick Search and a free retreat option. But the free retreat isn't super important because we got Pecharunt pairing with the Morpeko. Subjugating Chains, for those who don't know, once during your turn, you may switch one of your benched Dark-type Pokemon, except for Pecharunt itself, to the active spot, and the new active Pokemon is going to be poisoned. So basically, we have free pivot as long as we have Dark-type Pokemon. And Irritated Outburst is also a very viable attack in this deck. For 2 Darkness, deals 60 damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. So a really nice late-game attacker. This also gives us an attacking option that is not weak to Dark, as Hydreigon and most Dark type Pokemon are going to be weak to grass, but things like Fezandipiti and Pecharunt, part of that loyal 3, are going to be weak to fighting instead. So a lot of diversity in this deck, thankfully. And that's it for the Pokemon, so we're going to hop on over to the trainers now. For trainers, we do have 1 copy of Countercatcher, 1 copy of Pokemon League Headquarters, mostly to make it so our opponent's Budoos cost 1 more, but also some various other attacking Pokemon that they might be playing, like Raging Bolt or something along those lines. Then we got 1 copy of Tera Orb, so we can easily find Hydreigons. 1 copy of Counter Gain, so if we're behind, that Obsidian suddenly costs just those 3 other energy, or we can use Mind Bend just for 1 Psychic, things like that. So Counter Gain in just 1 copy just in case we end up needing it. Then we got 2 copies of Night Stretcher, 2 copies Nest Ball, 1 copy Professor's Research, 2 copies Boss's Orders, 2 copies of that Binding Mochi, so when we poison ourselves with Pecharunt, now we're going to be able to deal 40 more damage as long as we are poisoned. And we got 2 copies of Iono, 4 copies of Arven, 1 copy of Technical Machine Evolution, 2 copies of Janine's Secret Art, which allows us to accelerate energy to our Dark-type Pokemon, as well as poison if one of the Pokemon we're accelerating energy to is Dark-type. So another way that we're going to be able to use that Binding Mochi, as well as have damage to move with our Munkidoris. Then we got 1 copy of Crispin, 4 copies Buddy-Buddy Poffin, 3 copies Ultra Ball, 3 copies of Rare Candy, and 1 copy of Earthen Vessel. And that's all the trainers, so we're just going to go straight into the energy here. We got 5 copies of Darkness, so we can make sure that we're going to be able to use Munkidori, we're going to be able to use Pecharunt, and more importantly, we're going to be able to use Hydreigon, so a really nice high count of 5. Then we got 2 Psychic, again, making sure we can get access to Obsidian, but also throwing in the ability to Mind Bend does not hurt us at all. We got 1 copy of Neo Upper Energy as our A-Spec, which, as long as it is attached to a Stage 2 Pokemon, it provides 2 of every type of energy. So that's going to make it so suddenly our Hydreigon with a Dark attached and a Counter Gain on it when we're behind in prize cards, plus that Neo Upper is going to be able to go Obsidian right away. And so we're also going to be able to use Blustery Wind with that because it is another Stage 2 Pokemon. But more times than not, this is just going to allow us to reach that Obsidian significantly easier, or just that 1 attachment, and we can use Crashing Headbutt. So that is going to be our A-Spec for the deck. And then we got 1 copy of Metal, just as another way for us to reach Obsidian, but it's not super important, so just the 1 copy there. And that is the 60, so let's hop ahead. Now, right now, this deck isn't the best, only because Manaphy is in rotation. But we'll see if we can get some matchups that our opponent isn't playing Manaphy, or maybe they just don't get it out. Hopefully being able to use that Obsidian, but because of how powerful Crashing Headbutt plus the double Munkidori is, we can still definitely win those matches. So this deck is going to be super strong going into rotation. And yeah, let's get into those playtests here. All right, going ahead, hopping into our playtest here for Hydreigon EX. Let's see what we can see. Hopefully there's no Manaphy in this matchup, as whenever a Manaphy comes down, I've just kind of been skipping over him because it kind of defeats the whole purpose of the deck and won't exist when you're trying to play this. So unfortunately, that does make recording a little hard, but oh well. We do end up going first, which is what we prefer, because we are primarily a rare candy kind of deck. But we have that TM Evo just in case we want to go second, and it is going to be Dragapult is the matchup. And we do have a Buddy-Buddy Poffin in hand, as well as League Headquarters. So we're probably going to drop in that League Headquarters just so we can't get buddied on this first turn. And hopefully we'll find some kind of supporter to preferably an Arven to hopefully find our way into a rare candy for this following turn. Alright, let's go Buddy-Buddy Poffin here. Grab a second Deino and a Pidgey. And then, is there anything else that we're looking for right now? I think we're just going to attach to the active and pass. Right? Yep. Seems about right. We'll drop in that League Headquarters. Attach to the active, because we're not worried about it going down. And we will pass it on over. And sees the frustration. They were probably planning on going Budu here. But that League Headquarters is going to make it so they can't, without attaching to said Budu, which would also require them to get this Dreepy out of the active. So if they have Rescue Board Energy, which there's the Budu, if they have Rescue Board Energy, they can obviously do that. But we're going to make them expend some more resources to get there. And we don't actually have a way. They go Jacques. So it's not Arven, so they would have to have Rescue Board in hand to get this Dreepy out of the active. And use Itchy Pollen. And they just go ahead and grab the full line. Hopefully we can find a rare candy in some manner this next turn. If we have to research for it, that's not great. But it'd be worth it. And we see a Prime Catcher from my opponent bringing a Pidgey and promoting their Budu, so they could attach and use Itchy Pollen, but they're not going to invest that. They're just going to go ahead and try and disrupt us. And that does find us a rare candy, thankfully. And we'll thin out TM Evo, but we're not going to use it here. And we're actually going to get rid of it, as well as 1 Mochi for a Pidgeot EX, which we can rare candy that in the active spot, which gives it free retreat. And then we can quick search for another rare candy. So we're not going to be attacking with our... we won't be able to Crashing Headbutt this first turn just because of lack of energy. But we're in an alright position for sure. And we will just pass there. So ideally we're going to go Crashing Headbutt there, but the stars weren't aligned. So, and getting a turn 2 Pidgeot and Hydreigon is more than okay. They are going to evolve both of their Dreepies into Dracloaks, so we don't have to worry about a Dragapult coming out and starting to attack here. Worst case scenario, we see a Charizard hit the deck. And now that we have Pidgeot's Quick Search online, we are going to be able to actually go ahead and start attacking this next turn. And they do pass it on over without Itchy Pollinating, because again, they would have needed the league headquarters. So we draw into an energy here. I think we are just going to attach it. And then what are we quick searching for? Honestly, we could just... Oh, we couldn't find research because it's not in deck. Alright. What is it we're looking for? We could grab Neo Upper for next turn. It's kind of setting up, which would be a really nice, very satisfying damage spread. Or we could find Boss here. And because we know they have a Dragapult in hand, so we could just take away one Recon Directive from them here. And I think that is what we're going to do. Yeah. Take away a Recon here, as well as milling the top 3 cards of their deck. Alright, there goes a Dusknoir. We like that. So now we can find Neo Upper this next turn. And unless they get quite a bit of things in play, they got to do a lot of evolutions this turn. Otherwise, they're going to lose a lot. They do evolve into Dragapult, so we won't be able to target that with... Well, we can still target it if they bring it to the active spot, but oh well. That Iono doesn't hurt us too bad. We weren't losing much. They need to go Rare Candy Zard here. Otherwise, they're not going to have that as an option. Nest Ball probably for Fezandipiti. They grab another Duskull, so we might actually target both Duskulls and a Charmander with this Obsidian. That might be the play. We're taking 3 prize cards this turn regardless. We have no damage in play. We can't go Boss and Neo Upper off of our Pidgeot, so we might just be taking out the active Budu, which is alright. We would have liked for a little bit more, but I mean, we're going to be in a pretty comfortable spot here. It looks like we did prize our medal. I was debating going Crispin there so we could attach to our Munkidori this turn, but we did prize that medal. Iono doesn't do anything for us, it just lets them see more cards. This Buddy Poffin could get us another Deino, which we already have one down. I think we are going to fail it. There's no point in us getting that out. And we will drop in this one Munkidori, however, and go ahead and Obsidian. Unfortunately, because it is a Tera Pokemon, we cannot target that Dragapult. Because Teras can't be damaged while they're on the bench. But we do get to take 3 prize cards here and take away the possibility of them going Charizard. So I think we pretty much have this game in the bag. We can go Obsidian this next turn. They would need to go Rare Candy that Dreepy into Dragapult in order to have a chance and not bench anything else. Because even if they bench a Fezandipiti here, we're going to be able to use Munkidori to get that down to 200 and go Crashing Headbutt on it. Obviously, quick searching for the last boss's orders. So as Dragapult is known for taking lots of prize cards in one turn, we are just as capable. It does look like they get the Rare Candy off the Arven. Do they have the Dragapult in hand? I don't think they do. In which case, that would mean that's game, because we're just going to go Obsidian here, taking out all their bench. And there's the Phantom Dive. And that's going to be game right there. So we did get to display very well. They do just concede. They're not even going to place the damage counters. All right. Well, that's only 9 minutes, so let's go ahead and hop into the next game here. All right, hopping into that second play test here. Going to go ahead, flipping, hoping for a heads here, and we do get tails, so our opponent does get to decide. Now, we prefer going first, so we can rare candy on our second turn as long as we don't get buddied, but that's what the league headquarters is. But our opponent is going to go first. We're okay going second, just because we have that technical machine evolution access. Not a wonderful hand. We do have Buddy Poffin. Okay. Interesting. So we'll see what we draw into here. Hopefully it's an Arven, so we can go and get a Earthen Vessel and a TM Evo, so long as those pieces aren't prized. Or if it's a TM Evo, we can just go Crispin. And it is going to be against a Dragapult. Okay. And they do have their own Buddy Poffin to start out here. And they grab double Duskull. And a Nest Ball. So really nice starting hand from my opponent. And they grab a Rotom, so they're going to be able to Rotom. And another Buddy Poffin. Okay, so there's not much else my opponent can ask for in his starting hand unless they miss the energy attachment with. In Dragapult decks, that really doesn't matter all that much if you miss one attachment. They have Forest Sealstone in hand as well. Okay, so my opponent has effectively a perfect starting hand for Dragapult. And they get the instant charge there. Alright. We do get a second Buddy Poffin, so you can't even do much with that, unfortunately. So I have no doubt that my opponent is going to have Dragapult this turn going into it here. We have Neo Upper in hand. Okay. TM Evo's in deck, but we have no access to it. Even though all 4 Arvens are in deck. None of those got prized on us. Okay. We'll grab double Deino off this one. We might need Crispin so we can retreat this Pidgey. Because we really want access. We're probably actually going to Iono this turn. We'll leave some bench spots open. Pecharunt is also prized. But we have double Munkidori. So just because of how good we know our opponent's in, we are going to go ahead and Iono. So making that Forest Sealstone disappear on them. And we get double rare candy Hydreigon. We're going to hold off on benching any of that or playing any of it and just pass. Alright, so we do miss the energy attachment, which doesn't feel good. We kind of had to Iono. I would have liked to Crispin there, but we had to Iono. We know that their hand was good. They were able to use their V-Star, and they were able to Rotom. They had a nice full hand. And we Ionoed them into Crystal and Energy, but just Crystal Energy, thankfully. So, what are we looking at here? We're probably going Arven for what? We can't Pecharunt our Hydreigon into the active. So unfortunately, there's no way we can attack this turn. Actually, that's a lie. We're going to go here, grab an Ultra Ball, as well as just a Counter Gain. It's not going to do anything for us, but we're going to discard it here, I think. We'll Ultra Ball away. Actually, I think we get rid of Binding Mochi, because everything gets 2-hit anyway. So we'll get rid of Mochi, Fezandipiti. We can Night Stretcher for the Fez if we need it later. Grab Pidgeot. Then Rare Candy, the active Pidgeot. So it will now have pre-retreat as well. Rare Candy, one of the Deinos. And then we already Arven, correct? Yes. So we go quick search for Neo Upper. And then this Neo Upper energy will allow us to Crashing Headbutt the following turn. Or, well, not the following turn, this turn, but... Now, obviously, my opponent could go double Rare Candy, Dragapult, and Dusclops, or Dusknoir, and take knockout on the active that way. So, if they have all the cards that they need in their hand, which it looks like they have at least the Rare Candy Dragapult, thus promoting this Dreepy here. There's the Ultra Ball. Okay, getting rid of a counter catcher. Now we could go Janine's Attach to get a Obsidian off this turn, which might be the go-to. Yeah, we'll play Munkidori, Janine's onto that and the Hydreigon, and then attach to the active for Obsidian, as well as we'll be able to move damage off. But I think they're going to have double Rare Candy because they grabbed Dusknoir. They might just have it all in their hand, unfortunately. Yep. Second Rare Candy. There's an Ultra Ball. Do they have the second Rare Candy? They still haven't supported, so it's very possible that they get there. Okay. So now they grab Fezandipiti. Alright, so they might not have it. They might just have one piece of it and are seeing if they can find the rest. Flip the script. Hopefully we see an instant charge here. They attach to the bench. Cursed Blast for what? Against a Morpeko or Deino? Or it might be the active. They're going to take out the benched Deino. Going 1-for-1 there. Maybe they're hoping to draw it off a prize card here. We get our Pecharunt. That's nice. Let's see if they got the Rare Candy Dragapult. They evolve into Dracloak. Gonna see even yet some more cards. And they evolved the... Alright. That was kind of scary. So we do get to Obsidian this turn, taking out both their Dracloaks and Duskull. So, Night Stretcher for Dusknoir. Unless they go another Rare Candy, they are. They are going all in, probably blowing up Morpeko here. They are stopping it. They are going to actually do it to the active, so that Munkidori play is very viable now. We're going to be able to go knock out Dracloak, both Dracloaks, and then damage and knock out Radiant Alakazam. So we just won the game by them benching that. And we don't even if they Budu us, that's fine. We have game in hand. Pidgeot for Janine's. Alright, sweet. And we have more than enough to actually take game here, because we can Munkidori for knockout on this Budu, taking tons of prize cards this next turn. And you know what, just because it's Dragapult, I think we will do it. Let's go ahead, bench the Munkidori. Make sure that we're not getting ahead of ourselves. Janine's might not be in deck. Alright, Janine's is in deck. Do we have Dark? We do. So that's going to be game there. Absolutely incredible. Janine's onto the active, and I forgot Munkidori is a Psychic type, so we can't actually put energy on it that way. We'll go ahead, throw there and there, and then attach to the active, and go ahead, Obsidian, taking out both of their Dracloaks and their active spot for 3 prize cards. So unfortunately, we weren't able to take the 4 prize cards with the Munkidori play, but regardless, more than enough. Really got to show how the deck works there. Getting just 1 Obsidian Sorry, I got cut off there. For some reason, the recording ended. Anyway, I was just saying how impactful the just getting one Obsidian off can be and how game-changing it can be. And having access to both Janine's and Crispin and just all these different ways of potentially getting that Obsidian off can be super, super impactful. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know what kind of decks you guys want me to build next. I got a few in workshop, and it's going to be a good time. So make sure you turn on the notification bell so you guys know what's coming next and when it pops up and all that jazz. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And peace out.